Speaking of regulatory clarity, Gary's got a question. Do you think SEC case gets settled during or after this bull cycle?
No way of knowing, man. As
Yeah,
far as
there's
I
no
know.
way to know. So it's a hard question to answer for anybody. I
I'd
would
be
like to think
hopeful.
so.
I,
Yeah.
I, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. But I realize that they're connected, so maybe there's some causation as to what's going to happen. But I don't buy. There will be no, crypto cycle for PulseChain because of that.
Mm,
It may be mooted or muted or not as
mm,
much. I don't
So,
know,
I
but
don't.
so that's the follow
Mm,
up is, does this
yeah.
cancel, if it's
No.
not settled, does that cancel the bull run for PulseChain ecosystem?
Absolutely not.
that's the FUD, man. Sell your bags now, get out. Right? That's the FUD.
Dude, no. Just no. Like,
That's nah.
I
Well,
I just don't see. You guys, like, if you're thinking that way, you just don't understand. You just don't understand. I don't know what else to say.
Speaking of
yeah. Well,
understanding, do you have
You're
some?
not you're not long
Okay.
enough at the lows. That's the thing. If you think that this is
yeah.
gonna be a muted cycle.
Yeah, but it is perfect, isn't it? Though, because that's the kind of FUD that gets people out and makes them wait, and makes them wait until they have enough months of green candles to say, "Oh, I should have never got out." Now I'm going to come in and buy at 3, 5, 10x.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean that's what people like to buy it after confirmation. People don't like buying it when there's still uncertainty.
Mm.
That's whether that be regulatory certainty or price stability certainty, right? Or price performance certainty, and it all kind of comes together at once, right? So, but I mean, in certain terms of like even just in the technical indicators in the price chart, if you look at these longer, like monthly, yearly time frames, you can get really good resolution on when was good times to buy and when was good times to sell, even over the past 2 years. So there's going to be opportunity in that chart either way, and we could take a look at that as we get into it.
Oh, yeah, you want me to pull up the screen?
Well, before you do that, maybe just Crispy gives his last, just a quick opinion on the muted cycle. Like, yeah, I think you think no, and maybe if there's some data that you're getting on the mining side that's saying something to you.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, I don't know how to answer your question exactly. Do you mean, do I think, are you asking me whether I think Hex price won't go up as high? Is that what you're thinking?
It wasn't a loaded question. I was just curious if you had any intuition about what you're seeing in the mining data, and in terms of like potential price performance. Whether we have the first cycle to go off of, which was 100,000 stakers and did a 10,000x,
Oh, yeah,
and
well,
maybe you're seeing
yeah.
things in the mining data. Yeah.
Well, from an adoption perspective, I mean, you look at the adoption and uh, particularly on PulseChain with the number of new miners that are out there, it's pretty high in comparison to the past. But I think probably, I don't know if this is more important, but it's certainly an important number. The amount of people holding Hex is rising substantially on both chains.
Yes.
And that indicates sentiment from the people, the traders who normally drop the price down, or could be part of the equation, drop the price down, that they're waiting for the bigger prices. Like they believe that the bottom's in. And so across the boards, I can see that. Now the whole hex mining tie into that is, I think, I think from a miner perspective, I'm super bullish, right? Because I'm not seeing as many T shares getting bought up or brought out, or whatever way you want to call it. They're not as many people are staking for as long. Certainly, they're sticking about the same amount of hex, but not as long. So the T shares are going down. So existing miners are amping up in payouts. And so that could result in, it'll be slow, I guess. Maybe it's not the cycle completely, but they'll end up with a lot of rewards over the next year and a half to help equalize this system, right? And so I think all that's super bullish for long-term miners, you know. But as far as this cycle, it only is going to take just a little bit of money to come in and start buying up hex outside of the current players, and it's just it's just going to go nuts. We just don't have the supply. I
Yep.
mean, to support it. We
I'm with
could.
you.
I mean, you guys who know, they'll say, "Oh no, you're full of crap." Well, you guys have a bunch of circulating liquid X. Go put it on the market
Yep.
and make it available to other people. And yeah, then it'll be available. But right now, it's not available. We'll see
The
that.
thing is, like, most people aren't savvy enough to provide liquidity to set inventory on the market to give people something to buy, but they're very quick to go hit the red button. But the problem with that is that
Yeah, MetaMask,
with
max
right,
slippage.
I've seen it enough. Yeah, I've seen it. So
Yeah.
story time. There was a guy that I know that there's an individual. Sorry if you're listening to this, that bought or that traded Hex earlier this year and sold about $300,000, but walked away with $210,000 because he didn't understand slippage and getting trapped on the liquidity. That's basically giving your coins away for free when you sell like that. And he used MetaMask, so he got tagged with a bigger fee and everything. But we tried now since then have steered him in the right direction. But I mean, yeah, that's the kind of guys that we were dealing with for the last 2-3 years that just didn't understand the mechanics of this stuff. But there's been enough time now in education going around. I think a lot of that's starting to get solved. But ultimately that again, if people don't really know how to provide liquidity but they're comfortable, putting coins back on the market through selling, it's really only a matter of time. And market makers actually prefer that because if a big seller comes in and dumps and makes a big red candle, once things start to get moving, that's easy to absorb those coins at a cheaper price, which makes them have to use less economic energy to make a wick and push the price back up. And if one guy starts doing it, then 3 guys starts doing it, then 6 guys starts doing it, then 12 guys starts. It's just like a compounding effect. That's what we saw in the spring when Hex went from a penny to 12 cents, did a 7 to 8x. People forget that because it's just been kind of not the way things have been going the last like 7-8 months. But a lot of people made a lot of money over the last 7 to 8 months, regardless. I see it. This is like the biggest squeeze you're gonna ever probably see in crypto for a long time. What's going on with the Hex ecosystem? I'm very excited for it because you're seeing it in the mining data, you're seeing it in the liquidity pools, you're seeing it in the supply. I could go on and on.